I can't judge people's cooking because I'm such a terrible cook that in reality I can barely make human flesh taste good.
So outrageous the toll. You can lose all you have. He refused to give it to the town that takes all to survive. You must have the will. How this movie doesn't end the way we want all the time. And he shouts at the moon. She's gone. Fears will come. He was walking a mile. He was walking alone. All
Pep pep.
Pap, isn't that like a term that like they use in like professional vagina doctors?
Pep pep. Okay.
Like
Great.
gynecologists,
Go-
you know?
Doctor, can I get a pep pep smear?
Do they do that when they're like you get your legs in the holster, like stirrups? They're like pap pap.
Instead of pew pew.
Instead of pew pew. Well, they do pew pew, but only if you didn't take a shower beforehand.
Oh god.
Man, being a junk doctor must be like really shitty when like someone comes in and they're just gross and they don't bathe.
I mean,
I guess like that like is like super bad if you're any kind of like human, but like if you're like a junk doctor especially, and someone's like, "Ooh, my bits have issues," and then they like drop their pants and just like it, just like a garbage dump smell just like whams you in the face. But you gotta be professional.
look, yes, that's a valid concern, but just in general, I don't pity these people because I'm pretty sure if you like just sitting there in med school and you're going, you know what? I'm gonna be a gynecologist. You're a psychopath. I'm sorry. This is
Well-
not. This is not normal.
Well,
No. So
you're telling me vaginal health isn't normal?
look, it's great when you know that they exist, but if you actively make the choice to do nothing all day but look at strangers' vaginas and poke, no matter what they look like, mind you, there's something wrong with you. They don't do it because, I do it for the public good, so there are more gynecologists. That's not the reasoning behind it.
It
No.
would be for the pubic good.
Right. No. I don't trust these people. I don't.
All right, so we're going to add gynecologists to just the group of people to be dunked on this podcast.
Please.
Fuck gynecologists, god damn them.
Also, I'm not sure if you guys do that too, but we call them cave explorers.
No, do you also refer to them as muff divers?
Oh, that's good.
Cave explorers, like
Yeah.
I've never heard actually a slang term literally for an OBGYN. Does remind me of my absolute favorite nursing joke though. It's my favorite joke. About the nurse walking down the hall in the hospital. She reaches into her pocket, pulls out a rectal thermometer. Then she just sighs and goes, "Some asshole has my pen." What was the other one? Not medical, not like doctor related, but it was. She held his stiff 8 inches in her hand, feeling how rigid he was, and she knew, even in her innocence, that her hamster was dead.
No. Hamtaro.
Come on, that's a really super good joke.
It is. It's so sad.
I'm sorry, but depressing people is what I do. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Funk Dunk Plays Season 2, Episode 37, The Smell of Fear.
Is that officially the title?
Well, it's either that or Cave Explorers. Alright, so when we last left our intrepid adventurers, they were...
babysitting a library.
I believe they were in a library, and it was, I'm envisioning that it is still in the break room, just going through the entire Michael Jackson discography on the pan flute.
That's a fair assumption.
Hoping for one song to really work. Right now, he's actually doing Scream, which is one of the really last good Michael Jackson songs.
Yeah.
You're playing Scream. No one's in the room.
No.
People have basically stopped going to that break room, for the most part, with the exception of Guy, who now seems to be there more often than he really should for the amount of breaks he's contractually allowed.
There's no oversight. What are the bosses doing? For fuck's sake.
Yeah, you're not going to say anything just because he likes your Michael Jackson. Marcus no longer goes to that one because you keep looking like Michael Jackson, and he's finding it's getting more and more difficult to wank thinking about what you looked like before, because you look at Michael Jackson so often.
And he's forgotten what I looked like already.
Yes, it's fading into the distant memory, and which is good because actually in the time between your last scene and now, he developed a severe case of wanker's cramp, and now has his right arm in a sling.
I'm making some impact on these people.
Yeah,
thank God.
He's got physical therapy 3 times a day, 3 times a week, to try to regain full use of his arm. During which time he's learning to wank with his left hand.
Physical therapists in the library, or?
Yes.
Good to know.
His name is Lucius. He's very good. That's an actual name shout out to the one physical therapist I ever worked with.
Hey, Lucius.
He taught me how to stretch my legs and stuff.
As you should.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty useful.
Mm-hmm.
So, now we have Mr. Hellforge and Miss Elisa. He has told her that he has a plan to regain the souls of his compatriots, and has revealed that part of this plan is to use their belief and their gratitude towards him for saving them to power his celestial divine abilities. He doesn't necessarily say to what end, other than it would be useful for him to be powerful. But Elisa is definitely intrigued by the potential here for what I would call having a god on your side to help fuck shit up.
And to help conduct a certain spell that I learned about that requires a celestial god, which I don't think Sneck is.
Yeah, Sneck does not fall under that category. Sneck, if you want to get down to the nitty gritty of actual details, Sneck would classify as an abyssal deity.
Okay.
Again, that doesn't necessarily make good or evil. You know, I view Sneck almost as more of a neutral god, because Sneck doesn't necessarily care about doing good or evil. Sneck cares about the advancement of his people and his...
refusing to be, bullied or pressured, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. That's more important than the alignment of the person being bullied. Is the fact that they stand up for themselves and they refuse to get pushed around, etc., etc.
Yeah.
We're just going to jump right back into that secret room of requirement. There's it's a Harry Potter reference. I've read books before.
Good choice.
Yeah. Room of requirement, also known as where wizards take a shit in the middle of the night.
Which is actually a canonical use of that room, so...
Yep. Straight up. Hellforge does in fact have a plan. Because the thing you gotta think about it is my mother hid those souls very well. She would have taken them with her on her expedition over to the Prime Material. Now she'd keep them somewhere secure. And there's only one place in this entire library that even, the librarians can't quite easily get to.
Hmm.
Deep down underneath, meaning under the ground, there is stuff which I like to call the underground. And deep down under there, there's a doorway known as the Chironite Door. Now, it's guarded, but I think using a little bit of wits and a little bit of smarts, we might be able to get past those guards. Then, there is the Bridge of Failure. It's about 100 feet long, and apparently, if you fall, you'll really regret it. After that, I can get a little bit hazy. Things I haven't actually seen with my own two eyes. Something just known as the Wall of Itch. Past that, that's where the Soul Orb is. And that is where Mother would have left the important souls that she is keeping as a collateral to make sure I don't do anything to fuck up her plans. We get those souls back, I teleport the hell out of here. Bob is in fact at that point your uncle.
Alright, a very important question. When Gloth returns, what's to stop her from tracking us? Like, if she sees that these souls are gone, what's to stop her from tracking us down and killing us for this?
Well, I thought about that too. You see, Mother's got somewhere around 2 million mortal souls to power her army. That means she's not using a lot of her own demonic energy. But she's going to actually have to use almost all of it. Because once she starts slaughtering elves, the elven gods will probably take notice that their meal ticket is being murdered. The ensuing battle, she's going to more than likely walk, even though she will probably win. She will be limping back here a very hurting unit. It'll take her probably several days, months, or weeks to recover to the point where she could even check on those souls. And at that point, you, me, the other one, be long gone.
Mm-hmm. And she's not going to then come to the prime material to hunt us down over this. She doesn't seem like the type who... I think she'd hold a grudge, is what I'm trying to say.
Hold a grudge? Let me tell you, when I was a little baby, she wouldn't even hold me, but she held that grudge for over 2,000 years.
Exactly! Look...
But here's the thing that I'm trying to bring to your knowledge. She can't normally bust through into the prime material. It's extremely difficult for her. See, a celestial god, oh yeah, it's easy, not a problem. Abyssals, especially demonics, very hard. That's why she had to wait till Bilfador was dumb enough to open a fucking door. Then she used that door to hoover up a whole bunch of souls, and then she had to wait until she had those souls ready to power a demonic army to use a lot of that power just to bust through. When she gets back, she is not going to be able to bust back into our world. Someone would have to be really dumb and let her in themselves. She ain't going to be able to do it on her own.
Okay, so if we can get these souls, they'll power you up, we escape, and we're free and clear, assuming she doesn't find us afterward through some other unfortunate event.
As long as she makes it back here before she figures out that what we've done, we're in the clear. If she's still on the prime material, that could be an issue. But as long as she gets back here, oh yeah, she'll be stuck.
Okay, just in case, is there some false soul bag or whatever we can stick in place of the ones we're taking? So that maybe it'll look the same.
He stops and ponders for a minute.
I mean, you did put a clone of yourself in place of yourself, so... Same idea.
And he's scratching his cheek, just thinking, goes, well, the clone's basically, it looks and smells like me, but she never would look detailed enough to be able to tell. But a soul bag. I guess the only way I could possibly think of that working was if we had to like, collect at least, like, 50, 60 souls. We'd actually need real souls to replace them 1-to-1.
How many librarians do we have around here?
I never counted. Probably about 2,000 to 3,000. It's a big place.
I mean, if well, we'll be out of there anyway, but if asked, I guess we could spin a convincing story that you had to punish a few of them for some indiscretions. About 50 of them. You know how it is.
Well, reducing a corporeal being to nothing but a soul to fill an orb. That's a really serious punishment. We would have to say something along the lines of maybe they misshelved 2 books in 1 month.
Oh,
Or
yes.
neglected their dusting duties for more than 12 minutes.
Elisa will just point at this room full of dust.
Clearly,
Good
at
point.
least 50 people have fucked up here.
Well, actually, there's a reason that this room has never been touched. I'm the only one who can access it.
Still, they should have cleaned it. Alright, well, in any case, time is short. Would we have time to liquefy 50 librarian souls, or should we just go ahead with the plan as is?
I have an idea. You know, there's nothing that most people hate more than a company costume party. Everybody hates it. What I say, how about this? Advertise for one. The people who show up in costume, their souls are already forfeit.
Oh.
We just get them into one room. I do the, and his hands glow for a second, God thing. And then we got our replacement bag of souls.
Oh, yeah, yes. I'll start on the posters then.
And I imagine Elisa's art style is the equivalent of those drawings of Sneck. It's really crappy line art.
So what Hellforge does is he just waves his hands, and immediately there's like this tinkling, again, a Harry Potter magic type tinkling, and a stack of posters appears, and they are done with the most annoyingly atrocious clip art possible.
Comic Sans.
He is Comic Sans.
Yes.
And there's a clip art that are like words in big like exclamation bubbles that say like fun and team building and synergy and it says come join your coworkers in a wonderful amount of fun at our brand new costume ball tomorrow.
Oh, this is deliciously evil. How do you think these things up?
You might say it runs in the family. I can't help it. My mother's a demon lord, and my father was a blacksmith.
I'm sure there's a story there, but we've got work to do.
You've obviously never met a really good blacksmith. They're dicks.
Yeah, it's got some fascination with dicks right now. I don't understand it.
Ah, oh yeah, your friend, the changeling girl, the boy, whatever the hell it is.
I think it's permanently a boy now. It's not changeling anymore. It's gone down a couple steps species-wise. I try not to talk about it. It's uncomfortable.
Ew.
Yes.
Don't tell me it's a human. That is pretty gross.
Yeah.
It is having a worse hiccup right now.
But anyway, Hellforge, after displaying that humans are gross, because he is a god after all.
Yeah, no, he's even higher up the evolutionary ladder.
And he just sort of waves his hand, and the posters all, the door opens, the posters fly out the door to magically affix themselves to announcement boards and various places that you could safely put a poster. And one of them, just to be naughty, lands on top of a wet floor sign. So somebody slips and falls and gets a really bad bruise on their wrist.
Spooky.
Marcus has had a bad week.
Oh no. I feel like I should give him a blowjob just to make it up. So,
I mean, what are we gonna do while we're doing this plan?
what am I gonna dress up as?
Okay, so you're going to the costume party.
Why you're not?
I mean, I'm gonna be there to see who we've rounded up.
Yeah.
What that it do?
First of all, it at some point sees one of the flyers and starts
Okay.
thinking about what to dress up as.
Okay.
You know?
Because it does love disguises.
Yes, exactly. Is there anything else I should do, really, at this point? My job?
Let's see.
Do we have one of those?
I think so.
I thought it was just to oversee them.
Yep, apparently
Yeah, I think I should
Yeah, your-
do some of my
your
job.
job involves dicks, apparently.
Does it? No, I'm
Yeah,
just gonna
they're
continue doing stuff that Evergreen told us to do. Someone's gotta.
Just go
Okay,
beat the librarians for a while.
Yeah, you primarily find yourself just walking through the aisles and occasionally see a librarian, and if they're not like working, you kind of like
Kick them.
look at them and they go woo, and they start working again.
Okay.
You know, at one point a librarian is brought before you who was found smoking on the job in the ancient manuscripts division,
Holy shit!
which is very dangerous.
Yes.
And he is, brought to you by a couple of like guardian demons who are just like, this one has been found smoking the tobacco leaf like the hobbits do. He was in the ancient manuscript where everything is as dry as a British man's humour. The whole place could have gone up in flames and fire and a lack of proper sanitary procedures.
What do we do with you, you little shit?
He also was not using a proper ashtray and left ash on the ground.
What kind of demon is that? The guy who's talking to me.
One of the big kind with like horns and like leather bat wings and
Okay.
And leather straps.
yeah. He's like basically he's got a body harness on. So like it really accentuates the codpiece. I could stab him in the wiener for you.
No. Stop it, you. I'm in charge here. I can't kill him, so...
Point of notice, you can't necessarily for this particular infraction actually murder
Yeah.
him. However,
Yeah,
however, you can kill him, but just make him not die. Because as co-head librarian acting, you do have sort of strange levels of power.
Yeah, just cut his hands off and then he can't smoke.
How does this work? I can't kill him, but he won't die? What? I didn't get that.
You kill him, and he will die, and then he will simply come back to life.
Like, how could we... We couldn't even permanently kill them if he
Yes, you could,
Ah.
but it would have to be... You would have to intend to do that. You are basically an acting demon lord of hell. So, you're in the home level of hell of your power, you know?
No, yeah, you see, that's fine and all, but that's like, sure, he dies and then he's back. That's boring, right? I will look at him sternly, because that's what librarians do. I hope he shivers.
He is very
He's
nervous.
very nervous, and I'll cast Phantasmal Force on him.
Okay, I've seen... Which one? The first or the second?
What?
It was a Fantastic Four joke, sorry.
I'm
Okay,
not a
you will
nerd. You can't do this to me.
You're playing Dungeons and... You've been playing Dungeons and Dragons with me on the internet for almost 2 years. You can't say I'm not a nerd.
I can and I will. I cast Phantasmal Force on him.
Okay.
And what he's gonna see for the next minute, which is absolutely real to him in
Okay.
every possible way, including sounds and smells, is a group of about 5 extremely old ladies, like in their 90s, completely butt naked, just
Alright.
shaking everything they've got at him right in his face. And that's where he's at. I think that's appropriate.
Alright. Okay. Now, first of all, did that count as a spell for...
Of course it did.
Okay. So, I would need a roll on that before anything else happens.
Of course. 87. That sounds familiar.
No, you've done 88, 89, and 90.
Okay.
And 91 and 92, what the fuck? But you have not done 87 yet. This is actually kind of interesting what happens. Because at first, you're kind of disappointed with the results of your spell.
Okay.
Because this librarian who you were attempting to punish,
Yeah.
he just busts out in the biggest smile, and you can't believe it. He is a total granny fucker. Basically, he might die from the size of the boner he's popping right now. He's in heaven. He loves it. However, immediately, right after that, you get a weird tingle through your body.
Mm-hmm. I'm now granny fucker
You
too.
get a chuck tingle?
A chuck tingle.
You feel very lucky. And this translates, you now get a permanent +1 to every non-combat roll.
Thanks, granny fucker.
His luck has now bled into you.
Awesome.
And now, you can now just put, you have the blessing of the undulating granny.
Blessing of the... How do you spell that?
No, it's undulating.
Undulating, yeah.
Undulating, okay.
Granny. Granny is spelled
Yeah.
G-R...
Thank you. All right.
Yep.
Thank you. I am not particularly pleased with how this spell turned out, though.
Yeah, I should have just cut off his hands.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not Elisa. So.
Yeah, you're not as cruel as Elisa.
He's dancing with them now. With the imaginary grannies.
What did Dick do? Is it poking out? Is it visible?
It is definitely tenting his pants.
Like, can I get an estimate about that Dick game, or...
It looks to be relatively strong.
I'll leave it alone.
Right near the end of the dance.
Yeah.
Of the vision, the minute. His face goes slack for a second. And you see, as he makes weird little moaning noises, yes, in fact, there is now a large wet stain on his pants.
I cast Blight on him. That's a con save. DC 17, please. Oh.
He fails.
Poor guy. That's a 30 damage to this guy.
He shrivels up into, just a skeletal looking, almost like a Draugr from Skyrim type.
All of his blood is in his boner now.
And he looks down at himself, and for a second he goes, "I'm finally sexy!"
Oh my god!
And then he drops dead, and his body slowly begins to revert, and the guards drag his unconscious body away.
98.
But you should be satisfied in the fact that he has tasted utmost sexiness.
Yeah.
He'll never have it again until he's ready to die for real.
Okay, 98. When you cast a spell on him, and it drains the very vitality and life energy out of his body, like you do, you notice the room getting very cold. When he dies and life comes back to him, you notice it seemingly warming up again. And that's when you realize now, through pure force of will, though it's not 100% controllable, your mind now affects the temperature of any room you're in.
Okay.
When you were casting Blight and you were thinking of just robbing it of it got cold like the power of death in the room because you were trying to kill him. Cold-bloodedly.
Aww.
And once he came back to life, that faded. You basically have semi-autonomous temperature control of any small room you're in.
Alright.
They're not all good,
That's
okay?
fucking random. No, it's good.
It was.
I swear-
It was a random roll on a D100.
I swear to God, I'm gonna. This is gonna affect the outcome of this campaign in some way.
Hey, they sometimes do.
It's never gonna be hard.
It would be kind of hilarious just like if Elisa was the one with all of the random wild magic
Yeah.
rolls. Just imagine her trying to roll with all this shit going on.
Yeah.
Elisa with a peg butt.
She has a hard enough time when it's affecting it.
Yeah, no, she would have tried to kill the sheep. She would probably kill most of the animals.
Yeah.
Okay, now it is the next day.
It's party time.
It is time for the party.
Yay!
The room the party is in is actually relatively large. It's about 3 times the size of a normal break room. Almost like a small gymnasium sized. And it's a fairly big room. There are really cheap paper streamers, attached across the ceiling. And there's a big, banner that says, First Annual, Definitely Nothing Nefarious Going On Here Costume Ball.
Very
Yes.
subtle.
Yep. And the sign that says, Celebrating 1 Costume Ball Evil Trap Free. To connect everyone, so they know, hey, this is on the level. This is an employee benefit right here. This is to help the employees have a great day by dressing in costume.
Yep. It is already there because boss is supposed to arrive early.
All right. Is it in costume?
Of course.
What is it dressed up as?
Elisa.
Okay.
When we start, she didn't dress up. She's just herself. So,
Twinsies!
Yeah, she's gonna walk in, close, she's just there to survey the victims. Gonna, close the door, lock it, and then when she spies it, she's gonna look a little bit alarmed, and just run over, grab him, pull him off to the side, and say,
What are you doing here?
We're having a party? Why are you not dressed up?
Because it's a ruse. We need some souls. Yes. There's been some developments.
she's gonna look around to see if Hellforge is here. I assume he would be, because,
If he is, you can't
Oh,
see
he's a
Okay.
god.
yeah, because we're gonna need him to do the liquefying.
I don't know where he went.
There are people, they're enjoying punch and very generic pastries.
Alright, keep this to yourself, but Hellforge managed to escape. And,
What?
yes, no, on his own. He found me. And, he actually has a plan to get, those souls that we came here for. So, part of the plan, though, is that we need to put something in place of those souls. About 50 other souls?
I'm just gonna look around the room and say,
Yeah, I think this is about enough. I didn't know you were going to be here, though. You're clearly not one of the victims.
It is gonna stare at her. Grab you by the hand and pull you out of the room.
okay.
Okay.
Okay, so we unlock the door.
Oh, it's locked. Sorry, I didn't. Oh, no, not then a quiet corner.
Yeah, maybe we got curtains or something.
Okay. Yeah, quite
Sure.
well.
Hiding behind
Sure.
curtains.
Just random curtains.
Yep.
Yeah, there are no windows, but there are curtains.
Standing behind a curtain.
Yep. Yeah,
Our
the
feet
atmosphere
poking
curtains.
out.
Yep.
Yeah, if we can just see your feet on the bottom, because the curtains stop about a foot from the
Yeah, we
ground.
got Elisa's feet in her golden sandals, and then it's
Yeah.
pale human feet in
No,
the
I'm
same
you.
sandals. Oh, okay,
I'm a-
so you changed your skin tone too.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so it's two Elisas behind a curtain.
Yep.
Which is never good.
They just start making out.
No, I don't think so.
Eliza going, finally! I can feel the devil. I can feel love. For me!
You're strangely attractive.
Why, is this your mortal thing called kissing?
Is there a third? There's a third Elisa now.
Yeah,
Oh.
but that one's gonna get sacrificed.
Um, Hellforge is
Yeah,
walking around this room somewhere,
somewhere he's pretty good at disguises.
and he managed to get out.
He is a demigod.
Well, that's great. I didn't want him to suffer for 2 million years. I'm glad, but
Honestly, it's kind of you, because your pan flute actually gave him the time he needed.
oh my god.
Elisa thinks this is a compliment because she thinks this is all a good thing.
Yep.
All right. So, now you want to help him escape. Let me just... What exactly does he need you for?
I'm not sure, actually.
If he just escaped on his own without your help, then we wouldn't get in trouble with Everdeen. Why exactly is he dragging you into this?
I guess he's going to need my help to get those souls. The ones that we came here for. I mean,
How are you going to get those souls?
there's a whole gauntlet of traps. It sounds like some cheesy action movie, to be honest, but we'll find a way through.
What are you actually doing? Aside from standing around behind a curtain.
I am giving Hellforge the means to become powered up, so that he can help us with his fully god powers.
Are you going to kill these people?
I mean, I'll help, but we need to actually reduce them to soul forms, so I think Hellforge is probably going to have to do a lot of that. I have found a spell that is rather important to me, and part of helping Hellforge is that I'll be able to connect this spell. Plus, having a god on your side might not be so bad when we return to the prime material. Now, I do recognize that pissing off Everdeen is a very bad idea. So, after talking to Hellforge, it honestly sounds like we're going to be laying a bit low, hoping that she doesn't find a way back to the prime material. I mean, otherwise, we're going to be fine, at least for a while. She's going to be pretty exhausted after killing all those fucking elves. Look, this is the guy we came here for. And now we have an opportunity to not only get him, but to power him up.
But that was...
And you can get your spies for your church back.
Again, I'm glad he's okay. I've known him all my life. But I'd rather not lose Everdeen.
Interesting. There are two of us, so we could try to play both sides of this.
If there is a way that you can get Hellforge out of here without making me look bad, I could consider not stopping you. Sound like I actually could.
I do have a god on my side.
If you can find a way to do this perfectly, I might not die at you. Really hard!
Look,
I haven't told you about my finger of death yet.
I feel like in a way, this is like, even if it's not fully intentional, this is coming across as an attempt to appeal to Eliza's compassion. Like, she knows that it can't, like, kill her.
it was badly worded on its part.
No, but I think, like, if Eliza goes, like, wants to work with it on this thing, it will actually be Eliza's compassion for it more than anything else.
Yeah, also, Jade, now you have to decide if you have it in you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see it that way so much. I mean, she's always, tactical planning. And so the angle she's going with now is that we can keep one of us in Everdeen's good graces, which would mean that she could potentially still be useful as someone we can call on if needed. But we would also have to keep her distance from Elisa because she's going to be pissed about this whole thing. Unless Hellforge can hold her off when he's powered up. That's another thing she's kind of hoping. She can use Hellforge as a shield.
If Mr. Hellforge kidnapped you.
Oh, that's even better. Alright, so, Hellforge broke loose. Well, she was distracted, which was her fault, to be honest. She shouldn't have done that. And then he slaughtered all... Well... I'm actually hoping that she doesn't notice that all these people got slaughtered. Although I guess if we're going with the angle that this is all Hellforge is doing, then it doesn't really matter if we replace those souls or not. We could just kill all these people for fun, but it wouldn't really matter if we're not trying to cover up the fact that those souls are gone. Because that's the whole reason for this party.
Oh, well, he could have done it on his way out, and of course we tried to stop him. He couldn't do much against me, but he grabbed you and ran off with you.
Yes, and forced me to get him through all the traps or whatever the hell it is he plans to do.
He is a god, after all.
Yes, and then he carried me off to parts unknown after that, and that's why I'm gone. I have a feeling I'm going to have to leave with him when this is all done, to maintain appearances.
Of course. Our time here is almost over, and of course I will have to find you then, won't I?
Well, you're a traveler yourself now. I'm sure you'll find me.
Any holes in this? A lot, but...
I mean, it sounds like a better plan than the one we had. So it's just a question of, do we want to bother killing all these people?
As you're reaching that point in your rather long discussion, all of a sudden, you know, like, really old-timey camera flashes that almost are like a little explosion? You hear a noise like that, and there's an amazing flash of light. And then you just hear multiple splats and it, like, you even see, like, past thing, like, body parts just, like, splatting against the wall. And, like dripping down the wall, leaving just, like, gore and blood and guts everywhere.
Incidentally, I think this is the Halloween episode.
And a large piece just hits the curtain, tearing it down. Then, like, a liver just, like, smacks it in the face.
Yum, yum, yum.
Elisa's gonna look around.
Oh, what evidence is that one?
The room is just full of gore, of just mutilated bodies everywhere. And standing in the middle, not dressed up like anything except his normal, dashing self, is Jesus Hellforge, holding a bag which is roughly about 2 feet by 2 feet around, and it's glowing. And he goes, "Hey, I got the souls. Sorry, it's a little bit of a mess, but oh my god, am I seeing double?" He does like a really over-exaggerated wiping his eyes thing. "No, I'm not. One of you," he points directly at it, "is not actually Sneaky Lady."
I'll change back.
Oh, excellent work. Change of plans. You're kidnapping me now, and we are overpowering it. Here. You're kidnapping me and forcing me to help you through these traps or whatever. And we will never be seen again once you take me away from here.
Please be gentle, Jesus.
I don't have any sleep spells, so it's gonna get kind of violent if I have to knock him out.
Do your worst. I'll stretch out my arms. Give a good target.
Jesus Hellforge walks up to you, to where the two of you are standing. And he's got the bag of souls over his shoulder. And he reaches out his right hand, and he playfully tousles its hair. And goes, "Oh, come on. Do you really think, after knowing you for your entire mortal life, I would just go and do physical violence against you? That is not my style. Come on, snaky bitch. We got some stuff to do."
Hey, wait. What? You're just gonna leave me standing here?
I think Elisa's gonna turn and take her quarterstaff and smack it in the head. I'll give you a bruise that will be convincing.
It crumples to the ground.
I don't know if it'd be enough to knock you out, but it would show physical bruising to show it's like, yeah, you've been hit by something.
Well, here's the thing. Normally that wouldn't be enough to knock it out, because it is a relatively powerful being when you get down to it. However, it was so unexpected and right in the back of the head that it does crumple and flop face first onto the ground in a pile of gore, and is now just covered head to toe in the blood of assorted demons and humans.
Hot.
Okay, so Elisa will shrug and look over at Hellforge.
Well, off we go then.
That was entirely unnecessary, but good for
I'm
us.
selling it.
I just hope that we're not making some sort of a terrible mistake that'll come back and hurt everyone if your friend here decides to, side with the demon lord over, all this good and worthy in this existence.
Well, I guess you'll just have to become a powerful enough god to hold her off then. Let's get some followers.
And, Hellforge just, pats you on the back as you turn to walk away from the room full of just mutilated demon corpses. And he goes, Snaky lady, this could be the beginning of an extremely profitable partnership.
So outraged.
No, you're not getting away with it that way. You're not going, we're going to do a cliffhanger thing where all the fun stuff happens next episode. It's what you fuckers always do. You always go, the fun stuff happens next episode. The next episode, guess what? The fun stuff can't happen because we need to talk about fucking dildos half an hour. Fuck you. You're doing the good stuff now. Start it over. Get it. No, back. That's it. This. You can't add me on the show because I'm a goat and I don't fit with your little, so serious grimdark overall. Well, fuck you. Do the fucking Indiana Jones bullshit, you cunts. You are walking through the hallways of the library with Jesus Hellforge.
And a bag of souls.
He has a bag of souls, and no one is paying him attention because the second you guys walk out of the door, if you look at him again, he looks like a generic librarian.
With a bag of books.
And that bag of souls now looks like a bag of books, exactly. To the point where you can actually see the corners of books poking out of the bag. It's a really good illusion. As you're walking, and for once he's leading you, because you don't know, you can rack your brain quite a bit. You don't know where he's talking about is. It's not in your working knowledge of this place, and you know where virtually everything is. But this is something which was not included in the information that automatically filled your brain when you took over as co-head librarian acting. He leads you to deep into the areas where some of the really older tomes are. In fact, you almost swear you could still smell a hint of cigarette smoke. It's weird. And there's a metal grate on the ground that looks almost like a drain grate. And if you're looking at it, you kind of do realize, wait a minute, that doesn't make much sense. Why would there be a drain grate in a magical, demonic library? And maybe you kind of give a look at it, because that's when Hellforge goes, I see you figured out exactly where the architectural whatchamacallit of this place don't make any goddamn sense. And he reaches down to the grate, turns the handle, and pulls it up. Basically, instead of just the grate opening, everything in front of you gets pulled away like the grate was pulling away an entire page of a book. And suddenly, where before had just been more stacks and stacks of super old books, now there appears to be just a tunnel leading downwards. I can't help it. My mother helped make this place when I was still a very small child, and she was reading a lot of children's books. So some of the imagery, I guess, must have rubbed off in the way she made the early secret passages. It's slightly embarrassing.
Okay.
So you're walking down this tunnel. It appears to be lit by torches, but they give off no smoke.
Mm.
As you're walking down, eventually the tunnel empties out into a smaller, relatively semicircular room with a rather large wood-bound and iron door with two, I can't remember what they're called, the Donkey Kongs. Bargularas or
Oh, Balgura? Something?
Bulgaras? Yeah, whatever. There's two Donkey Kongs.
Hmm.
They're standing one on either side, and as you thoroughly approach, you realize it doesn't look like they're moving at all. Not even breathing. They're just standing there.
Are they blocking the way?
Yes. They're completely blocking the doorway.
Okay, I guess I'll glance at Hellforge and see if he has anything to say.
Well, this is a Chironate door. They say it's virtually impossible to get past these two big freaking monkey-looking dudes. That is one of the places where you come in.
You mean like the two that we killed the other day over in the tower?
They were in the prime material. They were probably scared and separated from their source of power. These two could probably rip the both of us apart while reading a book.
Well, there are a lot of books to go around, I suppose.
That's true. A lot of people do things while reading books here. It's almost like we're in a library.
Alright, so what's the angle? You want to brute force it, or you want to try to talk them out of it?
I'm pretty sure if you tried to brute force it, it wouldn't work. However, they work for Mother.
So that means they work for me now.
That was pretty much what was being implied.
Alright.
So I guess I'll approach the two of them.
Okay?
Stand aside. And if anyone asks, we were never here.
Interestingly, they don't appear to move, but they shimmer. And then, all of a sudden, they're suddenly going from standing shoulder to shoulder to standing about 5 feet apart from each other.
Okay. So we can get through them?
Yep.
Okay.
And you walk through the doorway.
Let's see where you brought me along now.
Well, yeah, because, quite frankly, do you realize those things could have torn each of us from limb to limb, and then probably torn our limbs limb from limb?
I think we could have taken them.
Well, I mean, you're more than free to try any time where it will not actually cause me physical pain.
It's a waste of effort if you don't have to.
I thought you might do it for fun.
Yeah.
Fun.
Okay, shortly after the doorway, the passageway ends, rather abruptly, at a sheer cliff face. Roughly, maybe 100 or so feet away is the other cliff face. And spanning that distance is a bridge that looks to be maybe 2 inches wide. Hellforge gestures at it and goes, "May I introduce to you the Bridge of Failure?"
I take it you can walk across this thing just fine.
Well, I mean, of course I can. I have exceptional balance. I am, in fact, a professional spy. A lot of that involves balancing on things. You would be surprised at how much spying is, in fact, all down to balance.
And Elisa's just going to tilt her hands out and levitate off the floor.
I think I'm all set. Shall we go?
Okay. As you both actually relatively quickly make your way across the chasm, Hellforge looks over at you and says, "You know what they call it, the Bridge of Failure?"
Is there a pun involved in this?
Not really. But get this, if you're trying to cross it and you fall, do you know what happens?
You scream forever.
No. You reappear at the beginning and you gotta walk across the entire thing again. It's very annoying.
Oh, yes. I'm beyond such things now.
Thank God you have transcended beyond the need to get good.
You just hack the game, God mode. I can fly.
So 100 feet later, you guys have crossed.
Yep.
It does seem odd to you that there was an underground canyon.
Hmm.
But nothing
It's
really,
hell.
I think, should seem that weird anymore.
Yeah, no, I figure it's hell. It's just an abyss pit going down to the next level or something. And there's a magic trap to catch you from that.
Yeah, 'cause otherwise you'd land in gamer hell. That would have been bad.
Yeah, you don't want to get stuck at the gates of gamer hell.
Oh, that hurt. That was a bit of a stretch, and when it reached me, it hurt. That was, ooh.
It was chef kiss.
Alright. Try to regroup. I don't know if I can recover from that one.
It's hell. What do you expect?
Shortly after crossing the Bridge of Failure, the pathway just ends. And there is a, for the lack of better terms, there is a wall. It completely blocks any forward motion in basically any direction. The only way you can really go is back. Except for this wall, which appears to be about 15 feet high. Between it and the ceiling of the passageway, there is probably about a 2-foot gap. And Hellforge regards it and says, "And this is it. This is the Wall of Itch. People say no one has ever gotten past it, because the cost of doing so is far too great."
And that is?
Well, it means right in the name.
You get
Makes
itchy?
you very, very itchy. Well, I assume that's what it means. I mean, I've never tried to cross it, but they did tell me that you didn't want to deal with that kind of an itch. I'm assuming it's an itch in a very private area.
I guess this all makes sense. I'd forgotten that Everdeen was such a fan of childish pranks.
That would appear to be somewhat close to the case.
Okay, so this wall had, 2 feet at the top?
Yep, there is a gap of about 2 feet between the top of the wall and the ceiling of the chamber you're in.
And the idea is to climb the wall and go through that gap?
That definitely appears to you to be the best way to get past the wall, probably.
Okay, Elisa's going to levitate up and lay flat and just slide through the 2 feet.
Okay. What happens is you do the whole you levitate up. You said, like you said, you flatten out, and as you begin to make the journey through, all of a sudden, what's your AC?
13 or 15 if I activate mage armor, which I would probably only do if we were going into a battle scenario.
Right, so it's only 13. But don't worry, this is going to be a very nice attack of opportunity. It's going to be polite.
Taking an itch attack?
A hand detaches itself from the wall as you are flying towards it and just smacks you clean out of the air.
Okay.
You are not expecting it. Neither of you are expecting this. It smacks you for 8 hit points.
Okay.
The wall begins shaking, and suddenly a face kind of appears in the center of it, and another arm detaches, and the wall just goes, "Itch! Itch! Itch!"
I have a door I should introduce this guy to. Alright, so you want to kill this thing?
Well, I'd assume that we should either try to defeat it, or perhaps we could convince it that we were just here to sell flower seeds.
Is it even intelligent?
Probably not.
Alright, I'll make one attempt. Because I'm lazy and I don't want to fight.
Lisa's extremely
But if
self-aware.
that doesn't work, we're gonna kill this fucker.
Okay, so I also realized when we leveled up, my proficiency bonus actually went up, so I've got an even better persuasion than I did before.
Alright, wall. Unless you prefer to go by itch. I don't know. You're not Very talkative, but Wall, please, stand aside.
Wall, stand aside.
Yep.
Right.
You got a 28.
Okay. Now, the wall is not actually an intelligent creature.
Mm.
However,
Is it smart enough to take a command?
it tries to move because it feels the sheer power and persuasion ability of your words is quite impressive.
Mm.
But it's also a wall, and it can't move out of the position it's in.
Do I have to roll another persuasion if I want to tell it something different?
Unfortunately, you would.
Okay, Elisa's gonna roll her eyes and say,
Oh, very well. Wall, you are going to allow us over you.
17.
It stops trying to move out of the way, and now it appears to be even more angry.
Well, fuck you too.
I'm just gonna use Finger of Death while flipping it off. So, Constitution save against a DC of 16.
And he succeeds.
Okay, so he takes half damage.
So you flip him the bird,
Yep,
so 32.
yep.
You flip off the wall.
Which is the thing you just said.
Mm.
Yep. And I'm not talking in a Lara Croft way either. It shakes again, and like he bellows out, and then obviously it felt something, and it goes, "Itch!"
Oh, I'll make you do more than itch.
And one of his arms goes flying towards you.
Okay.
It roll a dex save because we're not officially in combat.
15?
You manage to leap out of the way of his retaliatory strike.
Hmm.
I'm envisioning you just do like a really neat reverse handspring jump.
Hmm.
And then we will go to an actual initiative.
Okay. I got a 4, so I'm probably going last.
Nope.
Oh.
You're going second. Because the wall has a -4 to dex. Because he's a
That's
wall.
yeah.
And then we've got Hellforge, the semi-god,
Makes
who
sense.
goes before everybody.
Okay, you can step in here and do something now that I've attacked this wall.
Yep. He is thinking deeply, and he reaches into the sack, and he takes out what looks like a small glowing orb, maybe the size of a baseball. He holds it up in his hand, and he's just like, "I really hope I didn't particularly care for you. I did get to know several of the librarians, but I don't think any of them would be tacky enough to go to a fancy dress party." He covers it with his other hand, and while kneeling sort of out of range of everything, kind of, he begins to do an incantation. However, it's going to take more than 10 seconds, so we'll go on to Eliza's turn.
Okay, so there aren't any books that I would have to worry about using fire down here, are there?
No, there is nothing. This is basically all you're in just a tunnel with a wall at one end, basically.
Okay, yeah, no, if there isn't going to be a problem with me using fire, I
Nope,
will
none at all.
cast Immolation on it. It's a dex save, half damage on save. Against 16.
Well,
Nope.
he gets a -2.
And it's 8d6 fire damage, and now that he is on fire, he will take 4d6 fire damage every turn until he passes a save to not be on fire. I think it also says something like he's giving off like a glow that you can see from everywhere if we weren't in the middle of a tunnel.
Okay, yep. If you need to do any reading, now is a great time, because it'll really help you be able to see and it won't strain your eyes.
Yeah, but we're
Um,
near a fire. I don't want to bring the books out right now.
Eliza's
Okay,
turning
fine.
into a real librarian.
Well, if you have only an old school Game Boy Advance, not the SP, you could finally see what's happening on the screen. The wall is quite upset with you.
I wonder why.
He's a bit
doesn't.
miffed.
I asked him nicely to go away, and he didn't.
He tried, okay?
I told him to let us through, and he just got mad.
He felt you were mocking his inability to move by now.
Well,
You jerk.
if only he could use his words and communicate that to me.
He did. He said, itch, itch, itch.
He needs more words.
He rears back
He can do that.
with both hands and attempts to do a thing that monsters do, but it never seemed like would work in a fight, but he does it anyway. The double punch. Like punching with both hands at once. It doesn't seem like it should work, but monsters do it all the time. And he is going to swing. And he will miss, actually.
And does he take the 4d6 because it's his turn, or is it on my turn?
I'm going to say on your turn, just because that way it's per turn.
Okay.
Otherwise, it'll feel like it hits him twice in this round. And I just feel it would make more sense if it's once a round it hits him. But yeah, he swings at you, and it's a big swing and a miss.
Okay, so then it's Hellforge's turn?
Yep. At this point, Hellforge has both his hands over the glowing thing, and he goes, one weird thing about being raised in, well, for a little bit at least, in hell, is we had some great TV shows. I saw this on one, but I'm pretty sure I can do it. Holding the soul, which is now glowing brightly of just crackling white energy, he launches it at the wall while screaming out Kamehameha.
And his hair all shoots up at the same time.
It actually does.
He is blonde, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And his hair just sticks up on end, and the ball of soul energy flies at the wall. It barely hits him, holy shit. The wall tries to deflect it away, but it just doesn't work. Even though he yelled Kamehameha, as it hits, he instead explains, enjoy this literal spirit bomb. Which has not nearly as much damage as I was hoping for. You can start to see cracks appearing in the facade of the wall at this point, and it doesn't feel like this attack necessarily caused them, as much as you can definitely tell that your combined efforts are actually starting to, like, at least harm the wall, if not, actually kill it yet. And it screams out, I believe, something along the lines of itch, itch, itch. But almost in a way that makes you think it's saying, you're fucking up your Dragon Ball references, you fake weeb.
Oh, well, now he's gonna die. Okay, so, yeah, he gets to make a dex save against my 16. If he's got a -4, he's got to get a 20 in order to save, otherwise he's going to take 4d6 fire damage.
Nope, okay, and then that was, 14.
Yep. I guess I'll use my other Mystic Arcanum, Chain Lightning, which is a dex save, and is 3 bolts that do 10d8 lightning damage. I guess I'll fire all 3 at different portions of the wall.
Okay. Yeah, he got a 0.
Okay. So he definitely didn't dodge. And, okay, so...
He not only didn't dodge, he got hit extra hard.
So, he gets hit, let's see, 10d8, 10d8, 10d8. How's 139 sound to you, Mr. Itch?
Okay, here's what happens. Realizing that it's in danger, the wall begins to summon up its arcane defenses, and its hands begin to circle as if they're forming a big shield around itself. Unfortunately, it miscalculated,
And I assume I'm shooting its face and both hands at the same time.
As these lightning bolts come at you, the not fully formed yet shield, instead of deflecting them, it sort of focuses them, so they all hit the exact same point in the center of his face, and the wall explodes. Just all that's left after like the dust settles and you both can like see again from all this huge amount of like debris that's flying everywhere is just a little bit of rubble on the ground. The wall is in fact gone.
Yay, killed a wall. Okay, so Elisa will just gesture a hand at the rubble and say, "After you."
You notice that Hellforge has a little comb, and he's trying to get his hair to lay flat again. He's like, "I'm sorry, this happens every time I do things that sacrifice the soul of innocence. God damn it." You know, if you asked him to lead, he does. You walk really just past the wall is a circular room. In the middle of this room is, well, for the lack of better words, it almost looks like a really ornate stone birdbath. Like its physical shape. Sitting on top of it is a big glowing orb. And it glows with pure, hot, white energy. The same type of energy that you would have seen when Hellforge, burnt that soul to cast the Kamehameha. That same type of energy. That's what it looks like. It is just this bright white energy. And Hellforge walks up to it. He puts his hand over it, and as he sort of caresses the orb a little bit, and you hear him saying, "Don't worry. We'll have you back where you belong in no time. For my name isn't Jesus Hellforge. Now, here's a bit where things are going to get just a little bit tricky. I need to replace these souls with these souls, but, I have an idea. I'm pretty sure this couldn't possibly go wrong." He stands in front of the birdbath type thing, and he's kind of in a half crouch, and in his right hand, he's holding the bag of souls. And he's holding it out next to where the orb of souls is on the pedestal. And he's looking at it, eyeballing it.
Oh no.
He shakes it and knocks out a couple extra souls. Eyeballing it.
Oh my god.
Reaches over to the orb of souls, and then pulls it away and puts the bag of souls right on the pedestal. And he turns around, holding the orb of souls. He goes, "Well, that worked out far better than I feared." And then you hear a relatively pronounced click. And the bag of souls seems to go down about 2 inches.
Okay, Elisa's gonna run over to Hellforge and say, "Teleport us out of here now!"
Well, I hardly think that's necessary. Oh shit.
Yes! Get us out of here! Some fucking trap's about to go off. Look, I don't want to run down this entire fucking hallway from some boulder. Let's just teleport out of here.
Yep, I think that would probably be a good idea. He looks back at the bag of souls. Terribly sorry about that, chaps. I'd see you in hell, but you're already there, and I don't have a really good parting phrase, and I apologize for that. I'm usually better at this. Peace. And he puts his hand on your shoulder, and you both immediately blink out of existence. If anyone's watching there, that's what it will look like.
And then the giant boulder rolls down the...
No, actually, all that happens is very slowly, if anyone was still there, they would notice the floor slowly being covered in a layer of skittering beetles. And basically the trap would have just sealed off the other end, and you would have drowned in beetles.
Oh.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
It's a very creative way to die. I'll give him that.
I I mean, it's not even flesh-eating beetles.
Or stink bugs.
That you know.
Yeah, stink beetles. God.
They're just farting on you.
Oh my god, beetles with farty butts.
Millions of them.
Having teleported out, and teleported out of the abyss entirely, you reappear, and at first it's a little bit disorientating because you weren't necessarily sure where Hellforge was going to be taking you, other than out of here.
Yeah, I mean, we got souls, but they need bodies, I guess.
Yeah. You quickly realize that it's very windy where you are. If you look around, you realize that's because you're up very high. Looking around even more, you'd realize that you recognize where you are. You're, in fact, standing on top of the glass dome on top of Bilfador's tower. Hellforge launches the orb into the air and shoots a beam of divine light directly into it. It immediately explodes and begins to just tinkle down towards the ground. And he looks at you and goes, "There. Just about 20, maybe 30 minutes. All of my field agents should have their bodies totally reconstituted thanks to my god abilities and your temporary authority in a library."
So I guess we'll just wait around for it to get back now.
He goes, "Yep, that appears to be the entire long and the short of it. Nothing interesting happening here other than my dear friends coming back to life."
There is a lot of real estate to go around in this city now.
Theoretically, too. Yeah, I do suppose it would be. I hear the market's quite a bit depressed, though.
What I mean is they have their pick of the lot for whatever house they want. I'm sure the furniture's still there, too.
Question, Snaky Lady. Do you happen to have a bunch of friends who commonly wear armor covered in white robes? Yep, appear to carry religious symbols and it looks like incense and, yeah, a lot of holy symbols.
Elisa's gonna sigh.
Yeah, that sounds like the purity god.
Oh shit.
So outrageous to tow.